What is going on, guys? UFC 317 is going down tomorrow, and I thought I'd jump on here and give you guys my picks. Before I get into any picks, I'm going to be trying something new this video. Usually when I make these, I go from the bottom to the top of the card. This time, I'm going to start with the main event, see if it hopefully might get more watch time. But let me know, what do you guys think? Should I go from top to bottom or bottom to top? Let me know. But without further ado, the main event, Ilia Topuria versus Charles Oliveira. I have to pick Ilia Topuria to win the fight. Um, I think his boxing is so much better. I think against Charles's high guard, he's going to be able to string together long combinations, and I think the body shots will be huge in this fight, especially, like I said, with the high guard. I think Ilya is going to be sneaking in a lot of body shots. I think his, looping punches, like his hooks and his overhands, I think they can get around the guard. Charles gets hurt in like every fight, so I just have to pick Ilya to beat him. But I will say it's closer than people are giving it credit for. I mean, you look at the odds, Ilya's minus 425. It's absolutely crazy because he is small for the division. Charles is a lot bigger. He's very good in the clinch. So when Ilya is closing distance and he's crashing in with these big overhands and hooks, Charles can clinch with him. He's going to be stronger. I think he can land good knees, good elbows from the clinch. I like his teeps in this fight. I like his straight punches. But overall, I have to go with Ilia. I think Ilia's going to be landing good calf kicks too. They both land good calf kicks, and I think once he starts getting Charles, once he starts hitting the calf kicks on Charles repeatedly, Charles always walks forward and he lifts his leg up a lot. I feel like Ilia can time a good right hand as Charles is, lifting his leg up to check the kicks. Um, I just think Charles is outmatched. I think he can wrestle in this matchup, but do I think he's going to take Ilia down and hold him down and win that way or get a submission? I don't think so. I think if Ilia rocks him, he will be able to follow Charles down to the ground, and I don't think he'll get submitted. Um, I just think Ilia is really fucking good. He's so good at finding huge punches in fights. His boxing is elite. He does get, a little bit overzealous. Sometimes, he swings very heavy and he gets off balance. He drops his hands sometimes, but overall, I think his defense is pretty good. Great head movement, um, good shoulder rolls. You know, I just don't see Charles beating him, dude. I can't make myself pick Charles. I just don't see it happening. Ilya, I think at this point in his career, he is just better. So I'm going with Ilya by TKO in round three. I think it could be a body shot. I think it could be a left hook up top. Um, it's probably going to be a combo against the fence. But I will say Charles does have a good chance. Like I said, with the clinch, the teep kicks, I think will be big. His straight punches. Ilya, when he gets caught with stuff, it's by things going down the middle. Charles can land calf kicks of his own. Ilya's never defended calf kicks that well. So there are paths to victory for Charles in this fight. But, he's 35. He's getting up there in age. Ilya is 28. He's in his prime. He's got a delusional level of confidence. So we have Charles over here saying, I don't care if I get a finish. I'm just going to win. Ilya is preparing to fucking destroy him. That's something. There's a different mentality. And he's backed it up every time. So I just can't pick against Ilia Topuria right now, especially in this matchup. But I think Charles will give him a tough fight. I think he'll land some good shots. I think Ilia will land some good shots on Charles that Charles will take pretty well. But eventually, I think it'll just be too much. I think Ilia will land a good combo against the fence. Maybe drop Charles with a body shot. But yeah, I'm going with Ilia. But on to the co-main. Alexandre Pantoja versus Kai Kara France. I'm gonna go with Pantoja by decision. I really want to pick Kai in this fight, but I think Pantoja will be able to get to his back. Kai gives his back up a lot when he's stuffing a takedown, when he's trying to stuff a takedown up against the fence. He gives his back up. I've just seen him several times. Against Amir Albazi. Who else? Um, Askarov. He fought a Brazilian guy named Bontarin or something like that, and they were all on his back and almost had rear naked chokes locked in. So I think Pantoja will be able to take him down and get to his back. His takedown defense is good. He's got good defensive grappling, some of the best in the division. But so does Steve Erceg, and he, you know, was able to defend, but Erceg still got taken down. I think Pantoja's gonna win, and I think he will do some good work on the feet in this fight too. Kai, he's aggressive when he's not fighting grapplers. When he's fighting grapplers, he does not throw a lot. I think Pantoja's pressure will be too much, and his striking didn't look as spastic and retarded in his last fight against Asakura. He looks pretty good on the feet. He's got heavy kicks. He's got power in his hands too. Everybody's talking about Kai's power. Pantoja does hit hard. He's got the best chin, maybe in the UFC. And I just don't think Kai is going to be able to put him away. I think he'll land good shots early on, but I think Pantoja, if we have to compare cardio, I think he's better. I think he's able to push a heavier pace and maintain it. So I think it's going to be a close fight on the feet, and Pantoja will be landing good shots of his own. He'll mix in the takedowns. He'll win rounds with close submission attempts. And I'm going to go with him to win a decision. I think it'll be pretty close because I think Kai is very good, like I said. He's very dangerous with his hands. He's very accurate. He throws in combos, like he'll switch stances in the middle of a combo. He's good at that. But you kind of need space to do that. And I don't think Pantoja will give him the space to be able to throw those big looping shots and combos where he's switching stances. So I've got to go with Pantoja to win. On to the feature fight. Brandon Royval versus Joshua Van. Now, when this fight got announced, I was thinking, I really want Van to win, but I'm probably going to have to pick Royval. But now that I've went back and I've watched their fights, I'm picking Joshua Van to win by decision. And let me tell you why. I think in this fight, the biggest difference will be the boxing and the hand speed. Joshua Van is so much better in that area. I know people are going to say, Brandon Royval beat Moreno. If you look at that fight, the way Moreno was fighting, Joshua Van is just better than that. Moreno was throwing these big winging hooks and overhands that were fucking disgusting looking, to be honest. Joshua Van, his technique is so crisp. Every punch he throws is damn near perfect. He's got heavy hands. In the past, one critique for Joshua Van was, he kind of starts slow, but he builds into the fight. He started fast for Bruno Silva. He almost knocked him out in the first round. I think Royval, his striking overall is pretty good, but people think of him as like a dynamic finisher, and he does have some good finishes, but I don't think he's really like that. He's dangerous with, his spinning elbows, his big knees up the middle, but I don't think those will be landing on Joshua Van. Joshua Van is very composed. He's very calm. He's got good eyes. He's got good head movement, good footwork. Everything about his striking is just so clean. And Royval, I know, Van got knocked out by Charles Johnson after piecing him up for 2 rounds. He got caught in the third with an uppercut. Brandon Royval does not have KO power in his hands. If you have him in a striking match with Charles Johnson, he might win. But in a boxing match, I think Charles Johnson would beat him. I think he's more fast twitch. I think he's got more power in his hands. Charles Johnson hurts a lot of his opponents. And Brandon Royval, with his hands, his punches are kind of just flimsy. And I think Van will be countering him with heavy shots, Royval is going to be throwing out his jabs, not really committing to them. They're going to be flimsy. I think Van is going to be countering him. Um, Royval is a lot taller and he's got more reach, but Van is a small guy. He's used to that. I think he'll be able to get past Royval's reach, counter him with big overhands, hooks. I think he's going to be going to the body a lot. Brandon Royval is really tall. He's got a long torso. Van is going to be landing good body shots all day. And the biggest thing, this is a 3-round fight. So I think that favors Joshua Van a lot because Royval is a guy who really builds into the fight and he overwhelms you with his cardio. He's got amazing cardio. But this is not a 5-round fight. This is 3 rounds. He's used to being in 5-rounders. Van is used to 3 rounds. I think Van is going to win this fight. Royval is going to have more, output. He's going to be landing his low kicks. He's got a good body kick. He's going to be landing some jabs. But I think Van is going to be landing the harder, more impactful shots, and he'll have bigger moments in the fight. I could see him dropping Royval. Royval gets hit a lot. Every time he fights, he goes in there to scrap. And so does Van, but I think Van's defense is better. I know he's got clipped in some of his fights, but against Kevin Borjas, he got dropped with a fucking fast 1-2 with a lot of power behind it. I don't see Royval throwing strikes like that. I just think Joshua Van is just a little bit better. So I think he's going to win a close decision based on more damage and, big moments. I think that is the major factor. I think his hands are just heavier and his boxing is just so much better. And I think he's a lot faster. So that's what I think about that fight. I can't fucking wait for this fight. It's going to be awesome. I don't think Royval is going to be very successful with the grappling if he tries because Van's takedown defense is fucking legit. So if he does end up getting taken down, he could be in some trouble, but I don't see that happening. So yeah, I got to go with Van by decision. On to the next fight. Beneil Dariush versus Renato Moicano. Now, I'm going with Dariush to win, but I'm not confident in that pick. He's been knocked out 2 times in a row. He's been out for a year and 6 months. That's a long time, but depending on how you look at it, that could be good for him because he got knocked out bad. So this time off is probably good for him. But the main thing about this fight is I don't think Moicano is going to be able to take down Beneil Dariush. We saw Beneil Dariush deal with Mateus Gamrot pretty easily, who is just a better wrestler than Moicano. He is a better wrestler. Now, if Moicano takes Dariush down, he's a much more dangerous grappler than Gamrot is, but in terms of their, takedowns, I think Gamrot is a lot better than Moicano. On the feet, I think Dariush has a lot more power. He hits fucking hard. He's kind of slow, but the power makes up for it. He's got a hell of a body kick. Maybe Moicano can go out there and catch his body kicks like he was able to do with Benoit, but everybody talks about Dariush being really slow. Moicano is not the fastest guy on the block. Like, if you look at the Benoit fight, he destroyed him in the first round. And then you go to round 2, Benoit won that round on the feet. He was outstriking Moicano. I think Dariush will be able to land his left hand a lot in this fight. It's southpaw versus orthodox. I think he'll be able to land it. His body kicks will be effective. And I just think it's going to be a very close competitive fight on the feet with Dariush landing the bigger punches. I just don't see Moicano going out there and putting him out. If Dariush gets knocked out by Moicano, he's done. But I don't think he's done yet. And Moicano's striking is good. He's got a nice jab. He was piecing up Ortega and Calvin Kattar back in the day, but that was a long time ago. He's getting pretty old himself now, and I just think Dariush is just a little bit better at striking. Moicano's more durable, but he can get dropped. We've seen him get hurt many times himself. Um, and Dariush has been knocked out before, and he's come back from it. So I trust in his ability to be able to do that, to negate Moicano's grappling, to land the bigger shots on the feet, have the bigger moments, and I think his chin will hold up against Moicano. So, yeah, that's what I think about this one, but I'm not confident at all. I could see Moicano going out there, winning a close decision on the feet, striking match. Yeah, but I just don't think that's going to happen. But on to the next one. Peyton Talbot versus Felipe Lima. I'm gonna go with Felipe Lima by round one submission. Now, I will say, if Felipe Lima can't take down Peyton Talbot, I think he will be in trouble because his striking is very good, but I think Peyton Talbot just hits way harder and he's more calm on the feet. I think he's very patient. He's got good timing. So I think if it's a striking match, he will beat Felipe Lima. But I think Felipe Lima will be able to mix up his striking and grappling very well. He's very good at that. He's a dangerous boxer. And he's very good at taking people down and getting on their back, sinking his hooks in, and getting rear naked chokes. Now, what did Howdy Barcelos almost do to Peyton Talbot multiple times? Take him down, get his hooks in, and almost submit him, especially in round one. He had Peyton Talbot completely flattened out. I just don't think Peyton Talbot has had enough time to close that gap in his grappling skill, and I think Felipe Lima is just a more well-rounded mixed martial artist. They're basically the same height. It says it's 5'6" versus 5'10". It's not. You can look at them face off. They're almost the same size. Felipe Lima has power in his hands. He's quick. He's a dangerous striker, and he's a very dangerous grappler. So I think this is just a terrible matchup for Talbot. They're really throwing him to the wolves with this one. You'd think they'd give him like a rebound fight, but they didn't do that, and I think he will get submitted in round one. So that is my take on this fight. On to the next one. Jack Hermanson versus Gregory Rodriguez. Now, I'm going to be going with RoboCop by decision. I was so tempted to pick Jack Hermanson because I think he is very good. But at the end of the day, when you look at this fight, RoboCop is so much bigger, he is so much stronger and so much more powerful, and he is very good technically. He's got good striking. He's got a defense problem. He gets hit a lot. But Jack Hermanson is the one guy that you can get hit by, and it's like nothing. Jack Hermanson has absolute pillow hands, and I don't think he will be able to take RoboCop down at all. RoboCop's grappling is legit, so I think in this fight, RoboCop is going to go out there. He's going to land big punches early on Jack Hermanson. I think he might even be able to take him down if he shoots. He's just going to be so much stronger. He's going to be so physically imposing. I think Jack Hermanson is going to be backing up the whole time, throwing jabs, but I don't think anything is going to phase RoboCop, and I think RoboCop is going to crack him and drop him early on. Hermanson he'll recover, but I just think he's going to lose the early rounds of this fight, round one, round two. He might start doing okay in round three, but I think Rodriguez is just so much more physical, and he's very good on the feet himself. He's got dangerous hands. He lost to Jared Cannonier, but he dropped him like 2 or 3 times in the first round, and he's so dangerous, and Jack Hermanson just does not have that factor in his game. He's just not a dangerous striker. So yeah, I got to go with Rodriguez, but it would be cool if Jack Hermanson won. I do like Jack Hermanson, but on to the next one. Hyder Emil versus Jose Delgado. Now, this is an amazing fight. These are two of the best prospects at featherweight right now. I'm going to be going with Delgado by TKO. Now, Hyder Emil is very good, but he reminds me kind of like a featherweight Drew Dober. He's got a great chin, he's very durable, and he's tough as shit. So I think he's going to be walking forward in this fight. I think he'll land some big punches, but Jose Delgado, I think, is just like better than him on the feet. Um, Hyder Emil gets hit a lot. Jose Delgado has very good footwork, so I think Hyder is gonna have trouble, keeping him on the cage. And Delgado is very fucking dangerous. He's got a lot of power in his hands. He's got good knees. I think Willem Gomez landed some pretty good knees on Hyder Emil. Jose Delgado also, he'll throw dynamic shit like spinning back fists, spinning elbows. Willem Gomez landed several of those on Hyder Emil. Hyder Emil is just very hittable, and I think Jose Delgado is just more technical on the feet, and he's also very dangerous. So I think it's going to be a scrap, but I think Jose Delgado will be landing the much bigger shots throughout the fight. And I think when Hyder Emil is not able to bully someone in there, I think he's going to lose. And I think Jose Delgado is going to be too good for him. And I think he's going to put Hyder Mill away in round 3 with a big knee up the middle. But I think this is going to be an amazing fight. I just think Jose Delgado is going to break him. Um, and it might sound a little bit crazy considering how tough Hyder Emil is, but Jose Delgado is just so fucking dangerous on the feet. Um, and Hyder Emil, he does, hit hard, but I don't think his power is that crazy. When you look at when he fought that Korean guy, he literally landed like 30 fucking punches before he got the TKO. So I think Jose Delgado can take his punches. And Jose also pushes a very crazy pace. So I think it's going to be a scrap, but I think Jose is just the better mixed martial artist. But on to the next one. Viviane Araujo versus Tracy Cortez. We can skip over this one. I'm going to go with Tracy Cortez to win because she's hot. So, yeah, that's what I'm picking. I don't know anything about Viviane Araujo. I just can't be asked to watch tape on this fight. Tracy Cortez has never done anything to impress me in the UFC. I don't think she's ever really looked that great in a fight. But I'm going to pick her anyway, just because. Why not? So, on to the next one. Terrence McKinney versus Vyacheslav Borshov. Now, this is a close fight, but I'm definitely going to go with Terrence McKinney because Borshov, he gets hit a lot, dude. It's like every fight he gets cracked by something and dropped. And Terrence McKinney is so fucking dangerous early on in the fight. He's a good finisher, and Borshov also has some pretty bad grappling. Like, he cannot stuff takedowns very well, and once he gets taken down, he is a little bit of a fish out of water. So I think Terrence McKinney early on is going to go out there, crack Borshov with some big punches, and then take him down and get on his back and submit him. I think this is going to be a pretty quick finish for Terrence McKinney. It could be a TKO with grounded pound or a submission. I forgot to change it to submission, but I just think Terrence McKinney is too dangerous early on, and Borshov gets hit too much, and he also has some pretty suspect grappling defense. So I got to go with McKinney, and Terrence McKinney added me on Fortnite, so I'm going to be picking him. So yeah, on to the next one. Nico Price, the Dodo Bird, versus Jacoby Smith. You can see Jacoby Smith is a minus 2,500 favorite for good reason. Nico Price is going to get knocked out cold in the first round, brutally. It's going to be brutal. It's going to be hard to watch because if you don't know, Nico Price has like 7 kids. So he fucking needs wins, but they're not doing him any fucking favors with this. Jacoby Smith is a beast. He's got some of the best wrestling in the UFC. His grappling is fucking legit. He's fucking dangerous. He's very physical. He's a great athlete. And his boxing has been looking pretty crisp. His striking, I'm sure it's going to be evolving too, but in his last fight, he got a very impressive first round knockout versus Preston Parsons, who is not that great, but is not easy to put away, and he knocked him out cold in like a minute. So I think Jacoby Smith, his striking is just on another level. He's got too much power, and as soon as he lands on Nico Price's chin, he's putting him out. Nico Price got knocked out by Robbie Lawler in 2023. So, yeah. And it was with the fucking baby punch. So, like, you got to pick Jacoby Smith. I feel bad for Nico Price, but Jacoby Smith is a future title contender, in my opinion. So, on to the last one. If you're still watching this video, comment, I was here, because I appreciate it. If you're still here for my breakdown of Jonata Deniz versus Alvin Hines, I really do appreciate it. I'm going to go with Deniz by KO in round 1. Alvin Hines is not like a fat heavyweight that sucks. He can wrestle. He's got some decent striking, but he's very slow on the feet, and he gets hit a lot. But he's tough, and he's been able to walk through these guys on the regional scene. But I think Jonata Deniz is just a different level of striker. I think Alvin Hines is going to walk into a big right hand and get slipped out cold. So, yeah, that's what I'm going with. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know, what do you think of my picks? Who are you guys picking? And I hope you guys enjoy, and goodbye.